Welcome everyone. In today's video, I just wanted to recap a couple of things that are happening in the month of September that are important in the crypto land. And when I say important, these are major events that you should be paying attention to, and price will definitely react to whatever the outcome of the event is, whether it be positive or negative. Now, this video is inspired by Talks on Twitter. Definitely go ahead and follow him. I'll leave a link in the description down below for his Twitter thread, as well as everything else that I go through in this video as well. And so he lists out, a long list of stuff that is happening for September as well as October as well. And you can check this out here. But I'm going to be covering some of the things that I think are important and a little bit more in depth. And so the first thing I'm going to talk about is the merge. So the merge is happening on the 15th of September. That date is variable because it's based on basically hash power. And that can go up or down. So it might come even earlier. It might be delayed again. But this is the tentative date that has been set. We also have another hard fork that happens on the 5th of September. And that will give us an indication of whether or not the merge will actually go through. Because if that hard fork doesn't end up working out well, then the merge might be pushed back a bit. Ethereum moving from proof of work to proof of stake is one of the most important events in crypto history, and you should definitely be aware of what it is and what's happening. And so Justin Bonds on Twitter has done an excellent thread on this, and I'm just going to read some of the most important parts from this thread. And of course, I'll leave a link in the description down below if you just want to check this out for yourself. So let's get into this, right? So proof of stake allows for either much lower inflation or fees, as it can achieve the same level of security for a much lower cost. This is how fixed inflation before burning is able to drop down to 0.5%, due to proof of stake being far more efficient in terms of the cost of security. However, half of all the fees are also being burnt. This means that if post-merge fee revenues just stay the same, ETH actually becomes deflationary with negative inflation, based on the underlying use of the protocol, giving ETH a clear value proposition based on utility. As no other cryptocurrencies have nowhere near the usage of ETH, this is the first time we will see this design in practice under load. This is why the merge is known as the triple halvening, as a 90% issuance reduction is the equivalent of 3 halvenings in BTC. And so I think one of the narratives that have been going on in the crypto markets for a while is that every bull market is started by a Bitcoin halvening. And what we're seeing here with Ethereum is effectively a triple halvening going on. And so I think, yearly inflation is going to go from 6% to 0.5%. And that's extremely bullish because that's a lot less sell pressure going on, right? Because miners will mine the coins and then dump them instantly. They don't really care about actually holding those coins or investing in it for the future. For them, it's just pure arbitrage. And one last thing here to cover with the merge is that proof of stake is also far more equitable compared to proof of work, as proof of work is subject to economies of scale and competition, right? So the majority of mining will always be in the hands of a relative few industrial operations, whereas proof of stake instead gives everyone the opportunity to participate on equal ground. And so I think the most important thing to take away from this thread is that there's going to be a massive reduction in the amount of ETH issued every year. It's going to be 0.5%. And because of the usage of ETH and EIP 1559, it means that a lot of ETH is going to be burnt, potentially pushing Ethereum into the deflationary category, meaning that the supply will go down every year. And if you obviously look at basic economics of the laws of supply and demand, if supply goes down whilst demand stays the same, then, the price is going to turbo pump. So mark this date on your calendar, September 15th. And the next thing I wanted to talk about is the Cardano Vasil hard fork upgrade. And so they're going to have a hard fork, and this is going to happen on the 22nd of September. And effectively what this does is that it brings increased network capacity and lower cost transactions for Cardano. Additionally, IOHK have also said that it will bring enhancements to Plutus. And so this will enable developers to create more powerful and efficient blockchain-based applications. So the problem with Cardano right now is that basically it's really hard to develop any dApps there. This is the reason why we see that Cardano DeFi TVL is less than 100 million. Basically, not that many people are actually using Cardano because there's not much to actually do on Cardano right now. And hopefully these upgrades will actually make Cardano a little bit more useful. I know I've heard a ton of bad experiences from people online trying to use Cardano dexes and how they might have to resubmit a transaction several times over, and hopefully this should fix that, as well as making it easier for developers to actually get stuff out there, because I've seen a lot of Cardano projects that have been around for 12, 14, 16 months and have not actually shipped anything yet. And I gotta think this is because A, smart contracts went out for a while, and B, there are some problems with Plutus, as well as actually getting developers on board. And so hopefully we can start seeing more stuff come out on Cardano. Now, the next thing I wanted to talk about is the Chainlink Smart Convention, which is happening, I think, on the 26th to the 28th of September. And there they will be announcing a little bit more about what's happening with Chainlink staking. And so Chainlink God has done a couple of threads on this. And so let me just talk through it. So staking is a new era for Chainlink economics. This shifts Chainlink from being a payment token for Oracle services to becoming the right to earn revenue by securing those Oracle services. And so let's just get a little bit more into this. So with Chainlink staking, there are 4 long-term goals. These serve as guiding principles to its development and as the pillars on which the success of staking will be defined. So the first goal is that it increases the crypto economic security and user assurances of Chainlink services. So Link tokens are locked up, and if an Oracle network misperforms, that Link stake can be slashed, which is being taken away, and then redistributed to affected users, so attacks become more expensive. So there are some super exciting things coming for Chainlink. I mean, this coin has been cursed since basically the end of 2020. Performed terribly against ETH and in dollar terms as well, and so hopefully this can start pumping things up for the Link Marines out there. And the next thing I wanted to talk about is the Cosmoverse conference happening on the 26th to the 28th of September, and there we'll get more details on the developments of Atom 2.0, including tokenomics upgrades and the launch of interchain security. And the DeFi Investor has done an excellent thread here just detailing why interchain security will be a game changer, and let's go through it. So what's interchain security? Well, Cosmos is an ever-expanding ecosystem of interconnected apps and services. However, these apps are sovereign chains that don't share security between them. Interchain security will allow smaller chains to rent security from the Cosmos hub. And I think those smaller chains are going to be referred to as consumer chains. Cosmos hub validators will be able to secure new consumer chains in exchange for staking rewards. The delegators, which are Atom stakers, will also get a share of these rewards. So why is interchain security actually needed? While there are tens of small Cosmos chains out there that are facing decentralization and security issues, the DeFi Investor points out here that Kujira is actually quite centralized right now, and this is one of the layer ones that is looking to actually rent security from the Cosmos hub in the future. Additionally, smaller chains can benefit from the fact that the applications that will be secured by Cosmos will still keep 75% of their gas fees for themselves. So this will go towards the team, the DAO, etc. So once these applications become big enough in order to not need to rent security anymore, they'll be able to completely become independent. So interchain security is actually a good sort of, pit stop to decentralize and enhance the security of small Cosmos applications. And this is something that is extremely important because we're seeing new chains pop up every day. And the more chains that actually start renting security, the higher the yield will be for Atom stakers. Now, Atom has been one of those coins that has severely underperformed for years and years and years. If you look at the Atom ETH chart, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you held Atom through the most recent bull market, you'll know what I'm talking about. And so there is actual value accrual to the Atom token now, and that actually scales with how big the Cosmos ecosystem is going to be. And so when we get more details on the developments of Atom 2.0, when interchain security is going to be implemented, that should definitely affect the price of Atom. So keep a lookout for this. Mark your calendar for September 26th to 28th. And the last thing I wanted to talk about today is Arbitrum Nitro. So this upgrade actually happened in August, but the implications for this is that Arbitrum Odyssey will come back. So if you don't remember, Arbitrum Odyssey was this event that Arbitrum was hosting where people could go ahead and do different tasks. So interacting on the Arbitrum chain in various different ways, interacting with different dApps, minting in NFTs, bridging over, so on and so forth. And if you did those activities, you were able to earn an NFT for doing so. And so lots of people were going ahead and actually doing that. And in the second week, the chain got really congested and it actually got more expensive to use Arbitrum than it was actually transacting on layer 1 Ethereum, because there were lots of bots and real people coming in, and so the chain was getting a little bit overloaded, and so they decided to abandon Arbitrum Odyssey until they could get the Nitro upgrade. And that happened August 31st, and with the Nitro upgrade up and running, it is expected that they'll bring back Arbitrum Odyssey, and lots of people are participating in that because they believe that, you know, there is potential there for actually getting a potential Arbitrum airdrop in the future if they participate within the Arbitrum ecosystem now and start collecting these NFTs. Now, Coinbase did a good thread on this, just talking about Arbitrum Nitro, why it's important and some of the changes that occurred, but I'll just do the TLDR for you right now. I mean, obviously, there's a link in the description down below if you want to read this, but basically, Arbitrum Nitro has made it cheaper and faster to transact on Arbitrum. And if we just check l2fees.info, we can see how much it actually costs to transact on Arbitrum right now. And if you want to send ETH, it's 2 cents. If you want to do a swap, it's 6 cents. I mean, this was like 20 cents, you know, about a month ago before this Arbitrum Nitro upgrade. And in the bull market, it still costs you like $1.40 to actually transact on Arbitrum. And now Arbitrum has become extremely cheap to transact on. And so if you want to come back to the Ethereum ecosystem and start playing around there and potentially getting some airdrops, you know, now is the time to do so. And of course, if you're interested in some of the other stuff here, I'll leave a link in the description down below so you can check out this tweet.